Yo, what's going on guys? HyperX here, and today I want to talk about Crimson Desert. Some of you guys might have caught the new trailer shown during the Game Awards recently, or you might have seen this when it was first announced last year. Either way, today I want to talk about what this game is, what we currently know about it, and just try and sort of paint a better picture as to what we can expect based on the information we have so far. So if you guys do enjoy this, then a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below if you've got any questions. Let me know what you guys think. Is this something that appeals to you, or do you think it's far too early to tell? Anyway, that being said, Crimson Desert, for those of you guys that don't know, is the next flagship title from the South Korean developer Pearl Abyss. It was originally announced last year at G-Star 2019, which is one of the biggest gaming conventions in South Korea. And it was originally announced as an MMO RPG, and it was set to be a spin-off of Pearl Abyss's Black Desert Online, which, let's be honest, Black Desert does get a lot of stick because it's a very grindy game. There's a lot of microtransactions, pay for convenience, that kind of thing. It's not exactly a great model on that front, but I think everybody that looks at Black Desert does at least agree that it has a fantastic combat system, and visually it's also a very impressive game. So there's some aspects to enjoy there, even if it is incredibly grindy. However, that to one side, the main thing is Crimson Desert was originally supposed to be a spin-off, but it has then since transformed into a standalone project throughout development. The nature of what Crimson Desert actually is, however, is a little bit different, kind of odd. It was presented at the Game Awards as an open-world action-adventure game that features story-driven single-player content in an MMO setting. According to an article by PC Gamer, the game will feature a single server with a massive open world shared by players. However, players all take on the role of a defined protagonist known as Macduff, as opposed to creating their own generic character. However, despite this, you will still be able to customize what your version of Macduff looks like, with Pearl Abyss promising an in-depth character creator. So, all the kind of options you've known from before, you still get to experience, but this time around, because they're trying to tell a story, you are still playing a character. And as a result, the game is going to be much more focused on the single-player story than, say, Black Desert, which again puts it as kind of a good compliment, because Black Desert is definitely much more about the sort of online PvP aspect, whereas this time they clearly want to tell a story. So what do we know about the combat and the gameplay? Well, combat seems to be improved over Black Desert, focusing more on smaller scale skirmishing than, say, large devastating AoE attacks. It's shown off via new features such as being able to grapple with single enemies, throwing them or slamming them into the ground. We also see large boss-like enemies that can be climbed on, a la sort of Dragon's Dogma. In the trailer, we see the player stabbing this troll-like creature in the back, as well as a dragon soaring through the sky, with the players hanging on for dear life. As for side content, Pearl Abyss have confirmed that there will also still be PvP, there'll be dungeons, there'll be puzzles, and even large-scale siege battles. So even though it is definitely being pushed more so for the narrative, story-driven experience, you will still get some of what you expect from, a traditional MMO. On the story and setting front, the game takes place on the continent of Pyol, I believe that's how you pronounce it, a place filled with numerous biomes that range from barren deserts to the frigid lands of Quaden, all the way to vast cities spanning across green countryside. The story, as mentioned, focuses on Macduff, a mercenary leader, fighting to reclaim their land. The King of Demonis, unifier of lands, lies in a coma, and in the ensuing power vacuum, those that have suffered under his iron rule now seek to exploit his weakness. Some people that have felt the oppression of his conquest seek only independence, but others dream of gaining their own absolutist rule. In order to survive during these harsh times, it is up to you to assemble a team of battle-hardened mercenaries as you take on the many threats that reside out in the world. So that is, narratively speaking, what we're working with. But from the gameplay we've seen, it definitely looks interesting. Yes, admittedly, some of the, gameplay is a little bit rough around the edge at this state. There's some framing issues and whatnot, but generally speaking, I played Black Desert Online. It's not something that I actively play now, but I have played it in the past, and I did really enjoy the combat behind it. Yes, the game was incredibly grindy, which is partly why I didn't sink as much time into it, and why it's not necessarily something that I still play to this day. However, from what I did play from it, from the combat front, definitely really enjoy that. So if we can take that aspect, or some of the kind of, aspects of Black Desert Online combat, refine it some more, and put it into an experience like this that kind of gives me more of a story and more sort of stuff to do outside of that, then it could actually be pretty interesting. Obviously, far too early to tell right now. We have a lot of things that we need to find out about the game, but regardless, it's something that's at least on my radar, and I plan to keep watching moving forward. So yeah, if you guys are excited for the game, let me know in the comments down below. And of course, keep it locked, because as and when we do find out more, I'll continue to cover it so we can sort of see how this game shapes up. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget, if you haven't already done so, you can join the HyperX Gaming Discord. We've got an awesome community over there with so many different channels for you to chat loads of different topics and different games. I'm in there, the team's in there. If you guys want to chat with us, find people to play with, it's just in general a great place to be. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to turn on those notifications so you don't miss any of our future uploads.